Now let us read passage number 4. So we'll discuss passage number 4 now. First of all, we'll read the entire passage. We'll try to analyze the meaning of this passage, and after that we'll be doing the questions based on this passage. Okay, so this is passage number 4. Not very big passage. Let us try to read this. I'm losing my interest in human beings. So here author, he's saying that he's losing his interest in human beings, in the significance of them lives and their actions. Some has said it is better to study one man than 10 books. It means a study of one man is equal to 10 books. Okay, the studying of 10 books. I want neither books nor men. It means the author, he seems to be interested neither in books nor men. They make me suffer because these men or books, they make him suffer, or you can say they make him irritated. Can one of them talk to me in the light, talk to me like the night? So he's asking now, he's raising a question, what that can one of them means the books or the men, any one of them. Talk to me means author, like the night, the summer night, like the stars of creasing wind. Caressing wind. Now, what is caressing wind? Caressing wind is actually the current of air, sometimes of considerable force, moving gradually horizontally. Okay. So he's comparing the talk with them with the summer night or the caressing wind. Okay. The night came slowly, softly, as I lay out there under a maple tree. It means he is now describing a situation that the night came slowly, softly. It means when he was lying under the tree, the maple tree, he found that night came slowly and softly under the maple tree. What is maple tree? Maple tree is actually a kind of tree which has which can change the colors. So he compared the talk or the conversation. So he's raising a question about whether these man or book can they talk with him like the night, the summer night, or like the stars of caressing wind. Caressing wind means refers to a current. A current of winds or current of air, sometimes considerable horizontal moving. It means they come from the areas of high pressure towards the areas of low pressure. So these type of wind, these are known as caressing wind. So these stars of caressing wind. The night came slowly, softly, as I lay out there around a maple tree. So he described the maple tree that he was lying under it. Okay, not laying. Actually, he was lying under the maple tree. Now, what is maple tree? Maple tree is a type of large tree that grows in the northern areas of the world, or the wood of this tree. Okay, and you must have seen maple trees which has various patterns or colors of the leaves, the yellow leaves and the orange leaves. These are the types of leaves it occur in the maple tree. Okay, you must have seen this type of tree. So this is very beautiful tree actually. So he said that he was lying under the tree, and he saw the night coming slowly. It came creeping sleathily out of the valley, thinking I did not notice. It means he was just describing the situation of night, that it was growing darker slowly, and the outlines of the trees and foliage nearby blended in one black mass. Now we know well that the trees are green or orange. Now what happened? Because the night was getting darker. It means as you can see that it become dark in night. Now these leaves, they were becoming black in color. Now obviously they are not becoming black in color, but because of the light shade, they appear to us as black in color. Okay. And night came stealing out from them. It means night was just you can say becoming at its height, or moving at its height to and from the east and west until the light was in the sky. filtering through the maple leaves. Now, what are the maple leaves? Actually, as you can see that these are leaves on the air on the tree. Okay, so these are the cranks, or you can say open spaces between the leaves. So the moonlight that was filtering from those cranks, cranny, every cranny, and a star looking down through every cranny. It means the spaces between the leaves, as you can see on the tree. For example, there are some gaps. Suppose there are leaves, okay, and if this branch, again these have leaves, so these are small cranks in the tree. As you can see, the small holes or the small gaps between the light can penetrate through. The night in solemn means calm, or you can say serious, sincere, and it means mystery. Human shapes fitted by like intangible things. Some stole up like little mice to peep at me. So some stole up means, as you can see, that to move quietly and secretly. So some people, for example, that mice, they peep from the window. So they were appearing like that. I did not mind. My whole being was abundant to the soothing and penetrating charm of the night. The katydids began their slumber song. Now, what is katydid? A large, typically green bush cricket. As you must have seen, the cricket, it is generally found in North America. So it was a breed of cricket, and actually the insects. Okay, so those katydids began their slumber song. Slumber song means a sleeping song. Slumber means sleeping. So there is a slumber song like they were creating, and are yet it and at it yet. How wise they are! They do not chatter like people. They do not talk like people. They do not chatter like people. They tell me only sleep, sleep, sleep. It means they were just enabling him to sleep. It means they were not disturbing him. In fact, they were only letting him sleep. The wind rippled the maple leaves. Now, what this wind? They crackled the maple leaves, or you can say they just moved the maple leaves. The wind, it created the sound of the leaves. The little warm love thrills. Why do fools cumber the earth? Cumber the earth means disturb the earth or shake the earth. Okay, you can say disturb the earth, hinder. It was men's voice that broke the necromancer's spell. Oh, sorry, it is necromancer's spell. Necromancer's means magician, black magician. Okay, it is actually the magician. You must have seen black magician. So that is actually necromancers. Okay, this is the word that is magician, somewhere black magician. Okay, it means the wizard, the witches. So the author, he's praising the wind, he's praising the maple leaves, he's praising the cricket, but he's not tolerating, or he's not able to tolerate the man's voice, as it makes him disturb, or voice that broke the necromancer's spell. A man came today with his Bible class. Now he talked about a man who came there with the Bible class. He's detestable with his red cheeks and blood eyes and coarse manner and speech. It means he just hated him, that he was just hateable or hatred with his red cheeks and bold eyes and coarse manner and speech. It means he was speaking rudely. So he did not like him. What does he know of Christ? It means now he's raising a question for that man, that what does he know about the Christ? Shall I ask a young fool who was born yesterday and will die tomorrow to tell me things of Christ? So he's claiming that, or he's blaming that particular man, that a man who has died, who has born after the Christ and who will die tomorrow, he's the man who can talk to me about Christ, because he has never seen Christ. I would rather ask the stars, they have seen him. So he said, I will not ask the person. In fact, I will ask the stars, because the stars have seen the Christ, but he has never seen the Christ. So how can he tell me about the Christ? So he's just, you can say that here the author is of approach that he does not like human being at all. Okay, so he is a nature lover. He loves nature. He loves the parts of the nature, but he does not like human being at all. Okay, and their philosophy, their living, their style of living, that he does not like at all. So according to this passage, now let us try to uh, do the questions based on this passage. So this is question number 16. Why has the author lost interest in human beings? Because they make the author suffer. Because the human beings do not bring with them the warmth and comfort which comes naturally with the night, stars, and the wind. Because human beings are not mysterious, or all of the above. Now, if you see the first line, that I want neither books nor men, they make me suffer. So first point is that they make him suffer. Now, can anyone can one of them talk to me like the night, the summer night, like the stars, catching wind? So he also said that the human, they are not like stars and night and soft as them. Okay, and also he claims that the night is solemn and it means mystery. So he liked mystery, but he does not like human being because they do not create mystery. Okay, but the night is sincere and it makes mystery. Therefore, according to this situation, the correct answer will be D, because all the parts are the factors that makes the author lost interest in human beings, because of which the author did not like human being. Okay, so option D, that is all of the above, is the correct answer. Okay, now let us move to the next one. So the next question is, the author has compared the night with, now what, with what the author has compared the night? Is it with the katydids? Katydids means the cricket, or the native of North America. Necromancer's spell means the black magician, stars, or all of the above. Now, if you see this line, whom did he compare night with? Slowly into the valley, thinking I did not notice. Outlines of the foliage, okay, making it dark. Night is solemn and mystery. Human shapes fitted, okay. Intangible things. Some stole up like mice at peep. Whole being abundant or soothing. Slumber song. Penetrating charm of the night. The katydids began their slumber song, and love thrills. So all these things. If you see this one, the wind rippled maple leaves like little warm love thrills. Why do falls kimber earth? It was a man's voice that broke the necromancer's spell. Necromancer's spell means, now here the man has not compared night with katydids. He has compared the crickets, or the sound created by cricket, that was really nice for him, but not the man's voice, because that broke the necromancer's spell. It means the black necromancers, meaning the black magician, but here he meant it for night, because the human the man's voice, that will hinder or the beauty of night. Therefore, he has compared this necromancer's spell with with night. Okay, so according to this, the correct answer will be option B, that is necromancer's spell, because human voice disturbed necromancer's spell. Okay, now let us move to the question number 18. Why has the author called the katydids wise? Why did he tell them wise? Because they sing a slumber song, because they tell the author to only sleep, because they do not indulge in unnecessary and unimportant talks, because they are not fools. Now, if you see this, the katydids begin their slumber song. They now the katydids begin their slumber song. They are at it yet. How wise they are! So why he said them wise? They do not chatter like people. They only tell me sleep, 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 because they only let him sleep, and they do not chatter like human beings. So candidates wise, because what they do, because they do not indulge in unnecessary and important talks. Okay, so they are not talking like, they do not chatter like human beings. That is why they are wise. Now let us move to the next question. Which of the following can be inferred from the passage? Being close to nature can bring one closer to God. Nature is just a mystery. Books and men are both detestable. It means they are hatred. None of these. Now, obviously, books and men, they are not hatred, or they are not detestable. Nature is just a mystery. No, nature is something which you can feel, which you can see. Being close to nature can bring one closer to God. Of course, this is the correct answer. So it can be inferred from the passage. So here the correct answer is A. Okay. Now let us move to the next one. This is question number 20. Which of the following words of the passage mean rough? Now, which word is here that means rough? Solemn. Now, solemn means sincere. Okay. Casting means is a kind of wind. Okay, north wind, from higher pressure to lower pressure. Coarse means rough. Okay, so coarse means rough, and slumber means sleep. So here, according to this, the correct answer will be C. That is coarse, and that is rough. So coarse, the synonym of coarse is rough. Okay, and the opposite of it can be fine. So this will be the correct answer. I hope you understood the meaning of this particular passage and the questions as well. Now we'll discuss the passage number 5. Okay, so we have already done 4 passages. Now it is time to do passage number 5. So first we'll read the entire passage, and after that we'll try to answer the questions given. Okay, now we'll discuss passage number 5. As you can see that this passage is divided into 2 pages. Okay, so this is a quite lengthy passage, but it is a kind of a story. So let us try to read this entire passage, and after that we'll try to find out the questions that follows. Okay, it was the strangest murder trial I ever attended. Trial means you can say the examination in court of law, where the case comes and it is investigated, or it is argued whether the accused is actual criminal or not. Okay, the person who has been blamed, where the old woman was found battered to death. Old woman, it means there was an old woman who was found battered to death. It means she was beaten uh, till she died. Okay, battered to death means to hit something many times till that person died. Okay, in a way that hurts or damages. He was a heavy, stout man with bulging, bloodshot eyes. And the person who has done so, he was a heavy, stout man. It means a person having a body which is heavy, stout, like very uh, giant kind of a person body with the bulging, bloodshot eyes. It means his eyes were, you can say that were bulging. It means which are, uh, you can say the eyes which are outward. Okay, it means which are small, but as if they are out of the human body. Okay, so that is called bulging. Means positioning outward of the eye area. All his muscles seemed to be in his thighs. It means he was of a nice personality. He was fit and fine. The clock had just struck 2 in the morning. It means the time is 2 a.m. That is 2 a.m. in the morning. Mrs. Salmon in 15 Northwood Street had been unable to sleep. So there is a lady, that is Mrs. Salmon. She was not able to sleep. She lived in Northwood Street, and she was not able to sleep. Why so? She heard a door click. So she heard a door that is clicking shut and thought it was her own gate. So she thought that it was her own gate. So she went to the window and saw Adams. So she went to the window and she saw a man named Adams. That was his name. It means the name of that particular person, who he was a heavy, stout man with bulging, bloodshot eyes. Uh, on the steps of Mrs. Parker's house. It means he was on the steps of Mrs. Parker's house. He had just come out and he was wearing gloves. So he was just came out from the house and he was wearing the gloves. So she saw him that he's Adam and he has just came out of that house and he was uh, wearing gloves. Okay, he had a hammer in his hand, and she also saw that this man, he has hammer in his hand. Okay, hammer is a tool, you must have seen the iron bar and a wood and with a wooden handle uh, in his hand, and she saw him drop it into the laurel bushes of the front gate. It means there were some bushes at the front gate and he dropped that hammer into those bushes. But before he moved away, but before he could move, he had looked up at her window. It means he looked up in the window of Mrs. Salmon. Okay, the fatal instinct that tells a man when he's watched exposed him in the light of a street lamp to gaze his eyes suffused with horrifying and brutal fear, like an animal's when you trace a whip. Obviously, as he made a crime, so all of a sudden, that particular man, he must have got feared or afraid just because he was exposed or he was seen by the lady, and it was just a situation like if we raise a whip for the animal, he's in a situation that he makes his eyes glow, or oh, it means he just scream in fear. So that was the situation of that particular man who saw that he has exposed and he has been seen by some lady. Mrs. Salmon was called in the court. Okay, so now what happened in this trial? This Mrs. Salmon, she was called in the court. And do you see the man here in the court? And she was asked that, uh, and she was asked whether he can see that particular man or the murderer in the court. She looked straight at the big man in the dock. Dock means, you must have seen, if you have seen the court, you must have seen that there is a space where the accused, he has been made a stand and asked the questions. Okay, so that is the, you can say, the area where this accused are questioned by the advocates. So in that dock, a man was standing over there, who stared hard at her with Pekingese eyes without emotion. Pekingese is actually relating to Beijing. It means the people who are living in the Beijing, or the natives of Beijing. They have small but bulging eyes. So he too had same kind of eyes. So she just looked straight towards that particular man. Yes, she said, there he is. It means yes, she recognized him because she had seen him when the man, you can say, when the man looked into her window. So she had seen that yes, he's Adam and he's the same man who had murdered. Yes, she said, there he is. You are quite certain? Now, what question did the another man ask to Mrs. Salmon? That, are you quite certain about this? She said simply, yes, I couldn't be mistaken, sir. So she replied, yes, I cannot be mistaken because I have seen him clearly. Thank you, Mrs. Salmon. Now he thanked Mrs. Salmon. Counsel for the defense rose to cross-examine. Now, Mrs. Salmon, you must remember that a man's life may depend on your evidence. Now, this counsel or defense rose to cross-examine her, And now he asked Mrs. Salman, he said to Mrs. Salman that you must remember that it is a man's life which can be depended on your evidence only. It means your evidence matter a lot in the life of a man. I do remember it, sir. So what she said, what she replied, I do remember it, sir. It means she replied that yes, I do remember that he's the same man. Uh, is your eyesight good? Now what did he ask? That is your eyesight good? So I had never had to wear spectacles, sir. So what she replied that I have never had to wear. It means I have never wear spectacles. I have never worn spectacles, but because it was not required. Okay, it means I have good eyesight. You are a woman of 55. Now what he is saying, you are a woman of 55. Now 55 is actually an age where a person he starts wearing the glasses, but she, this lady Mrs. Salman, she was not wearing eyeglasses. So he was just inquiring or confirming about her that whether what is she saying is true or not. 56, sir. Now what she corrected that particular man that I'm not 55, I'm 56. And the man you saw was on the other side of the road. Now what he said to her, that you were here in this window and this is road and he was here. Did you see this man only? He was on the another side of your window. So are you sure that he's the same man? Yes, sir, and it was 2 o'clock in the morning. You must have remarkable eyes, Mrs. Salman. So he's again warning her that because that time was 2 o'clock, it means it is actually dark. So you must have remarkable eyes to see that particular man. It means your eyes should be very, very good, must be very, very good. Only your eyesight must be very, very good. Only then you can claim that yes, he is the same man. No, sir, there was moonlight. So what she replied? She replied that there was moonlight, and when the man looked up, he had the lamplight on his face. So she said that when the man looked up, the moonlight was approaching his face, the street light was approaching his face. It means I cannot make any mistake in recognizing him. And you have no doubt whatever that man you saw is the prisoner. So now he again asked her that the man the man whom you had seen is the same who is standing over there as the prisoner. None whatever, sir. It isn't a face one forgets. So she said, it isn't the face. It means it is not the face which one can forget. It means I remember that he is the same man, uh, uh, of the same personality. He is the same man. Then he said, "Do you mind, Mrs. Selman, examining again the people in the court?" "No, not the prisoner. Stand up, please, Mr. Adams." And there at the back of the coat, with thick, stout body and muscular legs and a pair of bulging eyes, was the exact image of the man in the dock. Now, the man, he said to Mrs. Salman, "Would you mind?" Means, I hope you will not mind if I show you again if I ask showing a man in the coat. And he also claimed that I will not show you the prisoner. I will show you someone else. And he showed him. And who he showed him? Another man with thick, stout body, muscular legs, and pair of bulging eyes. It means the man who is of the same personality and face. It means the twin of that particular man who was standing as a prisoner in the dock. Now think very carefully, Mrs. Salman. Can you still swear that the man you saw drop the hammer as Mrs. Parker's garden was the prisoner and not this man? Who is his twin brother? Of course, she couldn't. Now, as the two men, they look alike. So now she could not claim that yes, he's the same man, because she has only seen the face of that particular man, the body of that particular man, but she did not know the name of that particular man. That is why uh, till now she was confirmed that she has seen the same man. But after watching or after looking at the twin or at his twin brother, she was just lost, and she said, now I can't recognize. Of course she couldn't. This is an excerpt from the case for the defense by Graham Greene. Now you can see that this passage was really interesting. It is a kind of a story about the criminal or the victim, sorry, about the victim and the criminal. But here the criminal cannot be recognized just because though an eyewitness was there, but as the twins were there, so they cannot be claimed that yes, he's the same person. Okay, so here this is really a strange case. Now let us move to the questions based on this passage. Now let us try to do questions based on this passage. Okay, so this was really an interesting passage. Now let us try the questions. The question number 1 is, why do you think has the author called the trial strangest murder trial he ever attended? Because the accused had a very strange personality. Because despite having potential witness and evidence against the accused, his wrong could not be proved. Because Mars, okay, it is Mrs., not Mars, it is Mrs. Salman's evidence could not be proved before the court, or none of these. Of course, as you can see that Mrs. Salman's evidence was strong, so she was a potential witness. But in the last, we can see that, of course, she couldn't. It refers to, or it implies that there were two men, they were twins, and they were alike in all the manner. Therefore, the evidence that was given by, or you can say, the evidence being Mrs. Salman, the potential eyewitness, she could not prove, or the wrong could not be proved wrong. So according to this, B will be the correct answer. So according to this, B will be the correct answer, because despite having a potential witness and evidence against the accused, his wrong could not be proved. So this will be the correct answer. Okay. Now let us move to the next one. Dash, his eyes suffused with horrifying and brutal fear. Take an animal's when you raise a whip can be called as personification, simile, onomatopoeia, or none of the above. Now, personification is when a new non-human character represents the human characteristics. Simile, when you use as or like to compare two situations or two things together. Okay, here we are using the word like to compare the eyes suffused with horrifying and brutal fear with when you raise a whip against the animal. So these are the two situations that are being compared with the word as or like, with the word like. So it is a simile. Okay, simile is actually a figure of speech in which two things are compared using as or like. So in this situation, we have used the word like to compare these two situations. Therefore, this is a simile. Onomatopoeia is when a sound is created. Okay, so according to this, the correct answer will be, of course, simile. Now let us move to the next question. This is question number 23. The expression packing these eyes used in the passage refers to which of the following? Bulging eyes, red eyes, small eyes, or none of them? Now, packing geese means when the eyes are small but they are bulging. So they should be bulging eyes. So here the correct answer will be A, that is bulging eyes. Okay. Now let us move to the next one. This is question number 24. Why was Mrs. Salman convinced that the man she saw committed the crime? Because she saw the man on the steps of Mrs. Park's house and he was wearing gloves. Because he had a hammer in his hand and she saw him drop it into the laurel bushes on the front gate. Because when he looked up at her window, his eyes were suffused with horrifying and brutal fear, because she had seen him clearly in the light of the street lamp. So obviously all the points are clear, but the most important point is because she had seen him clearly in the light of the street lamp. So here the correct answer is option D. Now let us move to the next question, that is question number 25. Who was murdered in the scene described in the passage? Mrs. Wheeler, Mrs. Parked, Mrs. Salmon, or it cannot be inferred. Now, as you can see that she had seen the murderer on the stairs of Parker, but it does not mean that he had murdered Mrs. Parked, and it cannot be inferred from the passage because it is not directly given in the passage, so it cannot be inferred. Okay, so here the name of the victim has not been shown or disclosed in the passage, therefore option D is the correct answer. Okay, now let us move to the passage number 6. So we have already done 5 passages. Now only one passage is left in this CLAT 2020, and that is passage number 6. So again, we'll read the entire passage and we'll try to answer the questions that follows. Okay, now we'll discuss passage number 6. The world has very few devices left to fight COVID-19 with, remains one of them. But technology remains one of them. Whether it is employing the state of the art technology in the discovery of cures or vaccines, or traditional technology services to enhance healthcare and consultations, or even tools that keep people at home occupied productive, it is clear that technology will serve humanity at one of its darkest moments. The pandemic has contributed in no small measure to the understanding of myriad ways, myriad means many ways, in which available technologies have not been put to better use and presented people with multiple opportunities to harness these devices. It means to use these devices. Techniques and methods to get on with life in the time of lockdown. It means there was technology only, that was the support system during the lockdown with many people. In fact, they did work from home with the help of technology only. Among the primary uses is telemedicine. Telemedicine means when medicine can be transported through from one place to another through the means of transportation or the telemedicine. Rendered, it means through internet. Okay, online you could take medicines. Rendered inexorable now. Inexorable means unavoidable by the temporary paralysis brought on by freeze on movement. It means people, they used to go to the stores and buy medicines, but during lockdown what they did, they purchased the medicines online. Now it became their habit, or it becomes their habit. It has become their habit. The center's recent guidelines allowing for widespread use of telemedicine services came as a shot in the arm of telehealth crusaders. Crusaders means fighters in the country. Among them, the Telemedicine Society of India, that has long been battling to use the technology in its complete arc to reach remote areas in India. It means through telemedicine, the clinic, the doctors and the medical stores, they were approaching to the people who were living in remote area, and they were providing the medicines. This move finds consonance with the rest of the world, where several nations also deeply impacted by the pandemic have deployed telemedicine to reach people who have been unable to come to the hospital. Now, actually, consonance means agreement. So this move finds agreement or harmony with those peoples and the rest of the world, where several nations also deeply impacted by the pandemic. So these several nations, they deeply impacted by the pandemic, have deployed telemedicine to reach people who have been unable to come to hospital. To reduce footfalls in hospitals. Footfalls are actually the entrance or the entry of those people, or you can say the sound that was created by the feet of the people coming in the hospitals. Now, as you can see, during lockdown, many people, they were not coming to hospitals. Only those people who were suffering from corona or from any such disease which is required for them to be in the hospital. Only those patients were coming to the hospital. Rest of the patients were not coming. In fact, they were only at their homes and getting their treatments through telemedicine process. Okay, and even provide medical and mental health counseling to countless people. Because of this only, the population that was going to hospitals, that was uh, reduced, and you can say reduced footfalls in hospitals. So, and even to provide medical and mental health counseling to countless people. It was way back in 2000 that telemedicine was first employed in India. It means telemedicine was firstly employed in India in the year 2000. But the progress had been excruciatingly slow. But it was the you can say the reputation or the growth of this telemedicine process that was very very slow, extremely slow, or on the extent of highest degree it was slow. Okay, it was how awkward it was. It was very very slow. Okay, until the pandemic. It means in the time of pandemic it was running, but till that time it was growing very very extremely very slowly. However, it does seem as if the medical community was only held back by the lack of legislation to enable teleconsultations. For no sooner was the policy announced than hospitals and clinicals hurried to jump onto the bandwagon, advertising contact information for patients. Okay, the advantages are peculiar in the current context when putting distance between people is a paramount. A teleconsultations as teleconsultations are not barred even when healthcare professionals and patients may have to be quarantined. Okay, so what happened in that situation? The doctors who were treating the patients, the professionals, and those people who were providing the services of telemedicines, they all were quarantined. Okay, the advancement of telecommunication capabilities over the years has made the transmission of images and sound files, heart and lung sounds curves, faster and simpler. Pilot telemedicine experiments in ophthalmology and psychiatry have proven to be immense benefit to the communities. Ophthalmology is treating or diagnosis the eye treatment. Okay, or treating the eyes. So that those and the secretary, this provided great benefit to the society or the communities. Telemedicine's time is here finally. While unleashing the full potential of telemedicine to help people, experts and government agencies must be mindful of the possible inadequacies of the medium. Now, if you unleash, it means if you untie or unchain this full potential to telemedicine, it means if you want to use this service of telemedicine uh, uh, on the entire basis or on the extreme basis, something should be there in the mind of all people or the providers of medical facilities, that such cognizance should guide the use of technology. It means they should be aware about the use of technology. Okay, otherwise many things bad can happen. Okay, so just to avoid those discrepancies, or just to avoid those problems, they should be well aware, okay, of the use of this telemedicine services. So now let us try to solve the questions based on this passage. Here is question number 26. Which of the one of the following words from the passage means unavoidable? Inexorable, myriad, excruciatingly, or bandwagon. Inexorable means unavoidable. Myriad means many. Excruciatingly means on an extreme level. Or bandwagon is actually a group. It refers to a group. Okay, so according to this, inexorable is the correct answer. So the correct answer will be A. Okay, now let us move to the next one. Now the second question is the 27th question. Which of the following best summarizes the main idea of the passage? It is time to unleash the full potential of telemedicine. It is time to unleash the full potential of telemedicine with cognizance of its possible flaws. Technology has not been utilized to its fullest to suit the current needs, or people should not be skeptical about the advantage of telemedicine. Now, if you see the last line of this passage, that telemedicine's time is here finally. While unleashing the full potential of telemedicine to high people, experts in government agencies must be mindful of the possible inadequacies, it means possible flaws, of the medium, and securing sensitive medical information such cognizance should guide the use of technology. So, according to this, the correct answer will be uh, B, that it is time to unleash full potential of telemedicine. It means it is time to use this telemedicine, the service of telemedicine fully. Unleash means unchain, okay, and with cognizance of possible flaws means mistakes or errors, so possible inadequacies, and with the awareness, cognizance means awareness, so they should be aware, they should be made aware of the possible flaws, it means so that the people cannot get fraud. So the option B is the correct answer. Now let us move to the question number 28. Which of the following is a significant factor contributing in uh, employment of telemedicine in India? Slow employment of telemedicine in India. Telemedicine was never employed in India. There was an absence of regulation regarding the use of telemedicine consultations and medication systems. Telemedicinal Society of India failed in its efforts to promote the importance of such a system in the country, or all of the above. Now, if you see this, the passage again, you can see over here that telemedicine, it was way back in 2000 that telemedicine was first employed in India, but the progress has been expressingly slow until the pandemic. However, it does not seem as if the medical community was only held back by the lack of legislation to enable teleconsultations. It means it was not properly, you can say, in the legislature. So the things were not done clearly, though it was employed. So the correct answer will be there was an absence of regulations regarding, because they have talked about the legislation, so regulations regarding the use of telemedicine consultations and medication system, though it was employed in the year 2000, so we cannot say that it has been never employed. It was employed firstly in the year 2000. Okay, now let us move to the next question. This is question number 29. Telecommunication based medication has potential, not an easy outreach, because pilot experiments in telemedicine have been proved to be successful. It helps in easier communication of medical images from place to another place. It helps in securing sensitive medical information, or all of the above. So obviously all of the above will be the correct answer. Okay, now let us move to the next one. What is the meaning of the expression shot in the arm used in the passage? Hitting the nail on its head, bullseye, positive impact on something, or all of the above. Now, if you see where this phrase is written, shot in the arm. So first of all, let us try to see that where this phrase has been given in the passage. Okay, so it is given in the, you can just read the entire passage or just go through the entire passage once, and you will see the phrase that is shot in the arm. Okay, so in the first line, in the second line, in the third, in the fourth, just try to read where it is given. In the fourth, in the fifth, in the sixth, yes, here it is written shot in the arm. Okay, the center's recent guidelines allowing for widespread use of telemedicine services came as a shot in the arm for telehealth crusaders in the country. Crusaders means fighters. So shot in the arm of telehealth crusaders. Now let us see the options again. It is actually the positive impact on something. Okay, so option C, because this is actually the requirement of the situation, so this was really something positive for the people. during who were just facing during the pandemic. So the correct answer will be C. Okay. So these were 30 questions and 6 passages, 30 questions of CLAT 2020. I hope you have understood each and every paragraph, each and every question very well. So here now I'm closing this entire CLAT 2020 previous year solved question paper. I hope you have understood each and every question. You have enjoyed how to solve these questions, and now you have an idea how to solve these questions. Now, if just because we are discussing it right now, if you go through the questions again with the help of passage, if you try to find out the answers directly from the passage, it will take less time for you. You will maybe possible need not read the entire passage, or maybe possible you will take less time in reading the passage, and that will make it very easy for all of you to do all these passages very well. Okay, so try to find out the answers of these questions without reading the passage as well, so that you may have an idea how to solve these passages in less time. Okay, so I hope you have enjoyed this session a lot. Thanks to you. In the next session, we'll try to discuss some more previous year questions of CLAT. Thanks to you.